And I gotta say, like, on your song, it's the natural man, like a reggae song you got.
Yeah.
And I like I'm gonna quote like a little lyric from that.
Yeah.
It said, a natural man fighting against the laws and the captured land. More of us and less of them.
Yeah.
Like that hook, like that really done. So you said all inclusive right there.
Be low.
So
you got to work on your flow, man.
Yeah.
You got to work. I'm pretty sure that's not how it goes.
Hello. This is your host for the Hourglass Podcast, B Low, and I got the crew with me. Rated R.
Rated R in the building.
All right, I got Dub Boo.
Dub Boo in the house.
That's what's up. We back at it again. Before we get started now, I got to give a special shout out to Rated R. It's his birthday for the day, boy.
You already
for the day now.
already
Clap
know,
it on
baby.
up. Clap it on up for him.
Come on,
Clap it on up for Rated R.
Give it up.
B-Day.
There we go.
I got me working on my beat day.
On your beat
How the
day.
hell y'all
beat
got
day.
me working on my beat
On
day?
his B-Day, man.
Oh,
But
man.
we got the main attraction over here, though. We got a special guest right here, though. We got an artist and a cannabis entrepreneur, Mr. Ideal over here.
Peace, give it up,
baby.
Give it up.
Oh, shit.
You here right there,
yeah.
man. What's going on, Ideal, man? You here?
Still you in the building, baby.
I like that
What's
little
up?
drop right there, man. That was
I got
nice.
you. You know, we got
Shit
you
was
up
on
here.
point.
We got you up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got you up here. We got you up on here.
Yeah.
Keep it cracking. Even when
If they don't know, they gon' know.
there we go.
They don't
Let's
know,
go.
they gonna know.
We trucking with
I
this
appreciate y'all having me, man, especially
yeah.
on your birthday, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you stopping by,
Cancers,
man.
bro. Cancers. We coming through.
All right around, baby. Cancers.
Boo, you
Okay.
might have to find you some
Okay,
partners.
that's why y'all put me over here, huh?
I didn't even know I was a Cancer until some bitch told me they're like, yo, you need to check out horoscopes and shit.
You
And I
a
was like,
Cancer.
oh shit, I'm with it.
Hey, she had some good stuff to say about you. That's me. That's cancer.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, you want me to be a Cancer? I'm in. Let's go.
Like, for real.
is.
Okay, now Ideal, man. But I gotta say, man, definitely thank you for coming, like the Grace in
yes.
the Hourglass
Man,
Podcast.
yes. My
pleasure,
The
man. My
time
pleasure.
is now.
Yes, sir.
You know it,
Definitely,
baby.
brother. But like, first question though, where you from, Ideal, man?
Man, I was born in Toledo. I moved to Gary when I was 9 with my pops. And I grew up in Northwest Indiana, 219.
Gary, Indiana?
Yeah,
Gary,
Indiana,
Okay,
man. Michigan
okay.
City, Indiana. Now I split my time between Chicago and Michigan. Like, I moved to Pilsen like a year ago, but I've been in Chicago for since I was a kid, man. Like stealing cars and coming up here and just wilding the fuck out when I was like 13 or 14.
Not
man.
I know that's right.
Not GTA, man. Nothing like
No,
that.
straight up, not GTA, on some real shit.
That was real shit. Not the game. Not the
Eating acid
game.
on LSD, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Straight up.
I know that's right.
Okay.
That's what's
Okay,
up.
that's what's up. So, Ideal, where did the name come from?
So man, my real name's Justin Deal, you know,
Okay.
and also like
J Deal.
I've been dealing drugs since I was like 12 years old, man, for real, on some real shit.
Yes,
wow.
Motherfuckers know, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Hey, shit.
Non-stop on the block, slinging rocks. Non-stop.
Straight up, bro. Bend the plug in this motherfucker.
Okay. Definitely the plug for real though. We gonna get to that too later.
Yeah,
He the
yeah, I
plug
got
for
you.
real. He ain't just talking like that. He the plug for real.
I'm not. Ask the streets, you know?
Definitely.
So what a love for hip hop started?
Man, so really when I was 8 years old, man, before I didn't even really listen to music at 8. I didn't know, I was just a badass kid, just like outside playing little sports and shit. My cousin in Cincinnati gave me All Eyes on Me, like no bullshit, like 2 weeks after Tupac died. And I just fell in love with it. And then I found out Pac died, and I was like, I missed this by you know what I mean? It was like December, he died in September, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
In 96, and I was writing poetry, you know what I mean, since I was 10, something like that, you know what I mean?
That's what's up.
And that also really came from, once I really got into Pocket that young, I went and got The Rose That Grew From Concrete, like that book, you know what I mean? And that it really put me on. I started writing poetry, and then when I was 12, I really started rapping. But back then I was listening to nothing but just, I had every No Limit album. We used to just steal all the No Limit albums.
yeah.
from
That was
Sam.
a lot
I'm
of
pretty sure we
albums.
put Sam Goody out of business, man. We would just take the whole, you know what I'm saying? But,
That was a lot of
it was.
albums
It was like 30 a month, right? But no, man, I was listening to 3-6 and No Limit. And then when I when I turned 16, 17, when I really found Illmatic and I mean, but beyond that, it was written, like, changed my whole life, you know. And then just, you know, most definite quality, like, really, like, Lyricist Lounge, I remember on MTV, and I was like, man, this is like, I really could do this, and it's really what I was feeling. And so when I was 18, so I really started taking it seriously, you know what I mean? And then I joined my band when I was 20, my band Midwest Hype. And that became a whole nother
Midwest
thing.
Hype, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. We actually playing Chop Shop on August 20th, man. So come through. We're gonna headline that shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
August 20th, Chop Shop.
Chop Shop. I'm gonna put that down on the schedule. Put it down on the schedule, K
Bang,
Money.
bang. Yeah,
Chop
yeah.
Shop.
Okay, but the chop shop.
There we go.
We ain't gonna get there. Some cars out.
So I gotta
kind
kind of say, like, you spoke about like the South and the Midwest stuff like
Yeah,
that.
man.
Now, who kind of like really inspired you? Like, you know, like the really like one rapper you look at like, man, a specific
mean,
group or like.
When I was a kid, Nas, man. Like
Nas.
when I found Illmatic, I was like, oh, that like the hard consonant rhyme, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Just like in-depth storytelling and shit. And also, you know, that led to like Outkast. Like, did y'all ever get like the Columbia CD, like CDs for, you know? What I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, with
I
$20
put-
in the back.
I put one of those in every
Yeah.
single member of my family's name, you know what I'm saying? And so like those were like a, you know, manna from heaven. It'd be like 10 albums come through that I've just been like waiting on. And, you know, that's where I found out about everything. And like I was getting some shit right as it came out, like, you know, it was dark and hell is hot. All that shit was like right when it came out,
DMX.
98, 99.
Right,
but like
right.
I was going back and finding like Reasonable Doubt. It was written
Oh,
Illmatic.
you start going back into the history.
Yeah, you know, but then I
yeah.
got like Outkast's whole first 3 albums, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit just like put me on another level of like just wordplay, man. Like I consider myself a poet and a lyricist, and like just the way word, you know, like even if I wanted to stop rapping and stop rhyming and shit, I would still wake up with just like
Still right.
words. Like
Still right.
I hear a word and that shit, I'm just like, oh, well, that just goes like this, you know, and it just instantly happens for me. So that's like my favorite shit, you know. Anything that's like, obviously like Eminem, but like everybody always makes like the white rapper comparison, but like the dude is the fucking
I
illest,
get
man.
I get
Like,
more
that's
of like a
Exactly.
Cypress Hill vibe from you. I get the
I
Cypress
fuck
Hill
with Cypress-
vibe. Yeah.
I was on
Not-
stage with Cypress Hill at summer camp a couple years ago, wilding out. Like, do the sit dog dance. I was fucking wilding.
Did y'all crowd surf? Did y'all do it? Jump into the mosh pit?
I thought about it, bro, but it wasn't my show. I was playing at summer camp with a couple other dudes that I fuck with, and like I was
Snatch
just
the
on
mic.
stage for
Just
their
snatch
shit.
the mic. Just
I was
snatch
like,
the mic.
I was like,
Just
I
snatch
don't
the
know if I
mic.
should be stage diving at their shit. Like, they're like, who the fuck is this dude? But no, man, I fuck with Cypress Hill real hard for sure.
That's what's up. Cypress Hill.
Yeah, man.
So, like you said, people always try to compare the two, you know, but I mean, dope. I mean, you know what's dope when what's dope. You know
I'm
what I'm
not
saying?
mad at it, you know what I mean? I'm like,
exactly.
shit.
You know what's dope.
Put me in that class. I really don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But to me, Eminem did. He did like the battle rapper shit, the underground shit, the
Yeah.
fucking rock star shit, the almost die shit. You know, like everything. So
Exactly.
put me in that category. I appreciate it. Like, you know, that's what I'm aiming for, whether white or black, whatever. You know what I mean? Like in terms of hip hop, the canon. That's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, I don't think it's no color, and you know,
Right.
I don't think it's no color. I mean,
You good? You good?
yeah, you good, you good.
That's
That's
how
just
I feel,
point
man.
blank.
We
you know
all
what I'm saying?
inclusive here on the Hourglass now. All
Yeah.
inclusive.
Yeah,
K
I
Money,
appreciate
we all
it.
inclusive now.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
K-Money.
Yeah, y'all starting to sprinkle around here now a little more.
Right.
Yeah. Question, like, what makes your style and your lyrics different than what the artists are out today?
Oh man, I'm nothing like shit on the radio today, man. And not that I don't fuck with it, you know what I mean? But it's just like I come from like, it's not boom bap, but I come from like fucking heavy lyricism, dope beats, like, you know what I mean? The drums first off need to fucking be banging, and then like
Hip hop.
my shit.
Meaningful rap.
I like the way me and my producer Poonie, man, he's like the dude who taught me how to grow weed, the dude that I grow weed with, that I'm about to open a business with, but also he's my producer. He's the only dude that I like bounce ideas off of anything, you know what I mean? Like I write all my own shit, but he'll be like, this phrase he does like, you should change this past tense to a present, you know, he'll be like, that
Right.
shit doesn't hit the listener right, and so he's the only dude I bounce shit off of like that.
Okay.
And like me and him, man, like all his beats are like sample based. He finds like he's always searching for obscure samples and shit, and then from there he'll be like, he'll play it for me and I'll show interest, and he'll be like, oh, bet, and he'll build on the beat to it, and we, you know, I mean, it's very much from there. We like, it is super dense hip hop shit, but I'm a musician and I'm a way shittier musician than all my friends, but all my friends are amazing musicians, and so like we'll have the drums and I'll have a little flow going, and we'll come and have my bass player from Midwest Hype lay down a bass line, or a saxophone player from Midwest Hype lay down a sax line, and we build it instrumentally from there. for example, this song Unconventional featuring Mick Jenkins, that's got Tony Austin and Miles Morris from Kamasi Washington's band on it, and I did a bunch of shit with Kamasi Washington's band. I was trying to get Kamasi on it.
Definitely. But how was it working with Mick Jenkins though, man? On the track,
amazing,
Unconventional,
bro.
man.
Amazing. He, Mick blessed me with the fucking dopest 16, man. Like
Definitely. Shot-Town right there. Give it out, Shot-Town right
shout
there.
to Mick, man. Shout to Mick, fucking
Shout out to
Slime.
Mick.
Those
Shout
my
out to
dudes,
all of
man.
them. Shout out to all of them. Definitely. And I gotta say, like, on your song, it's the natural man, like a reggae song you got.
Yeah.
And I like I'm gonna quote like a little lyric from that.
Yeah.
It said, "A natural man fighting against the laws and the captured land. More of us and less of them."
Yeah.
Like that hook, like that really done. So you said all inclusive right there.
Be low.
So
You got to work on your flow, man.
Yeah.
You got to work. I'm pretty sure that's not how it
I
goes.
appreciate the scholarly quote, though.
I'm pretty sure that's not how it goes.
Bro, I'm not rapping about. Man, look at this.
Pass that on over, man. Pass that on over.
I
Pass the
appreciate
mic,
it.
man.
It was scholarly, bro. That was scholarly. I agree.
I get out there, people out there. Hourglass
appreciate
podcast. The time is now. You know.
I appreciate it,
But
man.
definitely, like you just said, like we all inclusive right there on
Yeah,
that
man.
line. Like
So that's my
really
dude.
hit home.
That's my dude, Roddy K. He's from a band called Love Militia in Florida and in Atlanta. And he came through. My producer Poonie met him in Atlanta, or actually met him in Miami. And he sent him the beat, and like he had already played me the beat, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna murder this shit." And Roddy sent back some shit, and he just did like a bunch of different, he was like, "Take anything you want." He did like a bunch of different 4 to 8 bar things, and I was like, "Yo, natural man," and I was like, "That's the hook right there, bro."
That shit fire.
And
It's
from,
fire.
From
It
there,
is.
my verses
It
like
is.
wrote themselves.
It
You know
is.
what I mean? That shit just like laid itself out, and yeah, it became, that's the first single off the record. We shot the video all ourselves. So I fucking with my drummer from Midwest Site, Max Kepler. We produced it. Came up with the whole idea for it, executed it like. It's like a fucking movie, man. It's I've never done any videographer shit or anything like that, so I'm
Got
real
some
proud
Black
of that
Lives
shit.
Matter and everything.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, no,
seen it
it's
all.
dude.
Seen the video, yeah.
Me and my producer Poonie, like when the fucking riots went down in Chicago, we were half of that footage is us like flipping over police cars and shit, man. We were up here fucking wilding out, man. Like fuck being on Twitter and just like talking about shit. Like we were up here fucking making some shit happen. I was there when the bridges got raised and motherfuckers was fighting. You know what I mean? Like with the cops with the fucking all the riot style fucking pens. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
fuck that shit, man. Like fucking, I'm proud of Chicago. I'm proud of Chicago for this summer and for what it did in the past 3-4 years.
I know
Shout
that's
town,
right,
baby.
man.
Shout
Yeah.
town, baby.
Give it up for Chi-Town, baby. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And I knew when I first walked up to you earlier, that's a real hip hop.
No, and I appreciate that, man. That's
I mean,
the realest shit.
I used to, do a little stage thing, but that's where I was. That kind of space is where I was at.
Real recognize real, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's all you really got to say. I mean, you can recognize it from the top. I'm like, what I'm saying? It make you want to bop your head again, and
My goal, man, is for with me and with my band too. My band's like way more like reggae, funk, jazz, but all through like the scope of like hip hop and rock and roll, pretty much. But
Right.
my whole goal is that like when I play the song wherever you're at, that shit makes you dance and bob your head and have a good time. And then when you leave, you know what I mean? It's the song has so much substance and resonance that it fucking like sticks with you. And then when you're by yourself just chilling, it's in your head and you think about it and you're like, oh shit. Dude was fucking really saying something here.
Exactly.
And that's the end goal of all my shit. You know what I mean? That's the whole trifecta.
Facts.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
When you get
what's
to
up,
the point
man.
where you be like, you get home like, oh, he said, did you hear what he said?
My
Did you,
favorite
you
shit,
didn't get
man.
it, did you? You hit it? Yeah, see.
When somebody's like, motherfucker, that, especially if I look up to you, but even if I don't even know you, you know what I'm saying? But I just like, we bop on a level or whatever, motherfuckers are like, oh, you really be rapping? I'm like, thank you, man.
Exactly.
Like, that's the best
Exactly.
compliment I
When
can
they
ever
see
get.
you, they
for
be
real.
like, rapper.
The motherfucker be
Yeah.
rapping like that.
Yeah, exactly. There
And I
it is.
appreciate that so much, man. It really means a lot to me. Like, I look up to that like level of respect, and like that matters to me. Like, rapping really matters to me, man. Lyricism and substance and overall just like authenticity. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is that you're doing, like meaning it.
Right,
You know what I
exactly,
mean? Like,
exactly.
That's the deepest shit for me. So I appreciate y'all. Like I said,
Man,
having me
appreciate
here and
you.
rocking with me, man.
Yeah,
Like, it
oh,
means a lot to me.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's the key thing, though. We try to, bring people, give them a platform, say what you're gonna say, because we gonna all rise. That's the key.
That's
time
what's
is
up.
now.
It's
The
Time is now, yo.
You know.
So, question: rappers in the industry, what artists would you like to collab with?
So right now I'm working on it, man. Like I've been selling like fucking. So the last time I saw my dude DJ Indiana Jones before he died in Indy, man, who was he's like a hip hop icon
Indiana
in Indy.
Jones, and he passed in Indy.
Man. Yeah, and fucking, I was down there. He hooked us up with Griselda, man, with Benny the Butcher and everybody in Conway.
Okay.
So I've been selling them herb through, through their management shit for a minute. But I'm trying to link with Benny and Freddie Gibbs real hard, man.
Okay.
Like,
Freddie
yeah,
Gibbs?
Yeah.
We're the only motherfuckers from Gary, man. Us and Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? There ain't nobody
Exactly.
else. Straight up. So it's
Skrilla.
like,
And we also got Real Skrilla. Give us a shout. We
and
had him on the.
also, I got a shout out my dude Rick Jilla. He's from Hammond, but he's on my record as well. But
Okay,
Rick Jilla, the
okay.
Swisher Killer, man, that's my dude.
Okay,
There it
definitely.
is. Shout out. Shout
You know
out.
what I mean? There
You
ain't
know what I'm
nobody
saying?
else.
All
man.
right there, Gary, Indiana, baby.
Yeah,
Shout him out.
GI 219.
You definitely gonna
it
get
is.
your collabo, man. You definitely.
I'm
an
working
artist. I
on
can
it,
see
man. It
people
seems like
wanna-
it makes too much sense already. You know?
Man, you definitely an artist. Some people I can see they want to get with though.
I don't really push like the hustler fucking like side of shit, but like, I've been moving more weight on multiple levels across multiple scales, and most of these rappers out here, y'all want to talk about some real shit? I've been doing this shit for a long time.
Bars.
Man. Like, yeah, that's the streets, man.
Bars, baby.
Facts.
Bars.
Yeah,
Something
facts
for you
like
to
that.
think about.
Now I got a question for you about
Yeah.
your upcoming album, Scatterbrain, right
Yes,
here.
sir.
Scatterbrain,
Now,
yeah.
now, what was the the medium had a name Scatterbrain for you? Like, how you came up with that?
Bro, that's really me, man. Like, I'm all over the place, man. Like, my mind works in like a Rolodex, but like that Rolodex, as soon as it ends, it goes right back to the, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm super scatterbrained, man. I'll set my phone down while I'm looking for my keys, find my keys, fucking need my phone.
So what the album gonna have some R&B's and rocks and rap, mix it
No,
all up.
It's all hip hop. It's all hip hop. That's
It's
just.
gotta
So
be-
I've always been about you know what I mean, like album titles like
Gotcha.
you know what I mean, like Ready to Die, Life After Death. You know, like just like all like I'm all about a theme, an overarching
Biggie.
theme and shit,
Gotcha.
like or like any whatever it is. But so my shit, I'm just all like I decided to make 2-word everything. So my first EP was Wildlife, and this is Scatterbrain. I might make the next one like Speakeasy or something, but like I'm all about like, the 2-word things, and then like I'm also like the album art. My girl, like my queen, Amanda Alani's Restitch Reality Art.
Shout out
Okay,
to the
yeah.
queen, baby.
She
Yeah.
does, she's my artwork director and everything. She does like all the collage shit. She gets like more love than I do on the artwork, on the music. She's like, everybody's always like, who the fuck is this? But
Oh, yeah.
she real mad I ain't bring her up here. She's like, you went to the strip club and ain't bring me?
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
gentleman's club.
So
A gentleman's
It's
club.
enough
Yeah.
of women's in here. You should have told me.
But
It's
it's just
enough of
with her
women's in-
artwork and shit, it's like it's all the same like type of idea. Like I'm all about like themes that like just coincide across the board. You know what I mean? Across the spectrum. I swear it's like even if it's different, you still know it's me. You know it's coming from me. And yeah, man, that's where the title came from. But yeah, as far as the music, no, it's straight like sample bass, dope ass hip hop, live bass lines, live scratches. Shout out to my dude LD from Sublime with Rome. He did all the mixing and mastering and scratches on my record. And yeah, man, there's lots of fucking musicians that I never thought I'd be able to work with. Like I said, a bunch of Herbie
That's a
Hancock
blessing.
and Kamasi
Yeah.
Washington's band, Humphreys McGee, and then just a bunch of my friends who are also amazing musicians, even though they're not on that level of fame that they're about to be. You know.
So I mean, so that's dope. So Scatterbrain. Now, when I hear words, sometimes they're stories,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're just words that can go with words.
Yeah.
Scatterbrain is kind of like almost a storyline. Is that how you thought of it, like as a storyline? Because everybody has, it's to everybody, and kind of. So you gotta.
And I feel like as artists, you know what I'm saying, it's about like, there's contrast in everything, you know what I mean? Like, Tupac can put out like Hit 'Em Up and then put out like Dear Mama, you know what I mean? That's
Right.
like a real artist, that's
Exactly.
like the three-dimensionality of it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's just like the album is, I try to, like be real personal and some shit, but like the title track, Scatterbrain, is just a straight banger. It's just like front to back, like 92 beats a minute, straight banger. So it's like, just as soon as I thought of it, it's like, a lot of times with album titles, I say them out loud, or somebody says it, and I just go, oh shit, that's the album title,
that's it,
right?
that's it right
You know
there.
what I mean? And I'm like, that's it, and we all just agree, but like, I thought of that with my producer Pooney. We were just smoking, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I was like, man, I'm so scatterbrained today, and I was like, Scatterbrain, I was like, that's the
And that's
fucking
dope.
record.
And that's dope.
That's it.
That's
So like,
dope.
it just came to me,
It's
but
catchy.
yeah.
It's catchy.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
dope.
just, it made sense, man. I couldn't describe a better word to describe who I am and like how I go about it as an artist and just my everyday life. Like I said, I grow weed legally in Michigan. I'm getting ready to open up a dispensary and all that shit up there. But I've been doing that for so long, even before it was legal in Indiana. And I make music with my band and also as myself. And so I'm constantly, and I also have to sell the weed that I grow. So like I'm constantly moving that in a circle, So like as soon as I put down one thing, I'm picking up the next, and it's it very is Scatterbrain.
It's Scatterbrain,
All my
yeah.
shit's in like an elliptical. It overlaps, you know.
All over the place. All over the place.
Well, at least you got something to calm it down once you're done with the scatter. You know, sit back and take a puff a couple times.
Yeah,
and
man.
you good. You
Right
good.
before this, we did. It was nice, man.
So on your album, how many tracks do you have, and what you looking to accomplish?
There's 10 tracks on the record. Like I said, Natural Man was the first single with my dude Roddy from Love Militia. We did the video for that. The second single I just put out is Unconventional with Mick. He just came through and fucking laced it, man. Like, linked up with him and brought him some really nice herb. And he, like, actually,
ganja.
I linked up with his dude Slime, his DJ Slime, through my guy AJ, who's like a videographer, movie set designer. And he took me to Slime's broke-ass Christmas party, and I gave him some weed. And he was like, yo, he was like, can you bring us, it was called Kosher Tangy, which is like a really specific strain. And I was like, yo, I'm the only person who has my specific strain of Kosher Tangy in the world. Like, we got it from the seed company before they even released it, and then it never got released. So I'm like, so I met him at the House of Blues with when they was opening up for Earth Gang. And brought him in, so we just hit it off from there. Like, the next morning, Mick was like, yo, I got you on whatever you need. And the 16 that he sent me is just stupid, man. I was like, holy shit. Like, it made me be like, oh, man, I almost have to come with another verse. And then I did, but I already had that verse written, but I was like, shit, man, I might have to come with a third verse. He came so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you really like get into the cannabis industry like that, you know?
Oh, man, it was... So my producer, Poonie, when I was 18, we were in a hip-hop group called... When I was like 16, we were in a hip-hop group called Complex Simplicity. And I was like making little beats by myself and shit. And he came by one day and had never made a beat before and just like fuck with my little beat. And instantly, and I was like, you should be my producer, bro. I was like, you do this way better than I do.
Oh, Pooh.
And so from there, like, he started making beats, and my first full-length solo record, he got robbed, man. Like, somebody kicked his door in, tied him up and shit. And fucking,
wow.
Yeah, like, fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't even have
Antoine
nothing.
Walker.
He didn't even have nothing in this motherfucker. He was like, take whatever. And so they just took all our musical equipment. And so I had all my first record on it and everything. And from there, one of our guys in Colorado hit him up and was like, yo, come out here and fucking learn to grow the best weed in the world, and you can sleep on my couch. And so he did that, and then he moved back, and he was like, let's go to Michigan, which, you know, in Gary, we're like 20 minutes from Michigan. I'm like, we've been getting arrested here for years, you know what I'm saying, for like small bags of weed. He was like, let's go to Michigan, man. So
Now it's legal now.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We moved up there, like, Michigan, fucking shit, man. They want to give us, like, the key to the city. You know what I mean? They're like, we're, like, helping write laws with the fucking governor and shit. You know what I mean? So
That's what's up.
as soon as, you know, I started doing that when I was, like, 20, and we weren't at that level yet. But, you know, doing it 10 years now, like, I won't say it's the best weed in the world, but we grow some of the best weed in the world. You know, like, straight up best herb in Michigan shit.
That's what's up. We got to go up there and get a little taste
I
or
brought
something
y'all
like
some,
that.
man. I brought y'all some.
Off camera, K Money. Get some contact. You get in contact today, K Money.
You make sure you do your job, then you go smoke the stuff first.
He can do the camera, gonna be a little wobbly. Man.
Gay Money got it. He got it.
Man.
That's what's up.
So, is it a warehouse you all deal
No,
out
so
of, or-
right now I'm a caregiver, right? So it's like I grow herb for I grow 12 plants for 6 other people, including myself. So you can have 12 plants just by yourself, being over 21, and so I can grow 72 plants total legally, and it's like a caregiver to patient to doctor relationship. So it's like whatever I agree on with said patient is what I give them. But we're getting ready to open a micro grow, which will be the second in all of Michigan right now, which is 150 plants compared to like 1,000 or 2,000. But it's like we're not Anheuser-Busch, we're like 3 Floyds, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's completely based around like the best weed in the world. Like no, we have the license, but we don't have the insurance. You gotta have like a bomb-proof building to do wax and shit. So everything will be based around just like amazing weed. You know what I mean? It'll be more like kind of like a buyer's club. Like you'll get a little, you know, saying a membership, and you'll come through once a month, and we'll spend like an hour with you, like going over everything that we got, and you know what I mean, like developing like a routine for you, or you know what I mean, a prescription for you that'll change as you come along. You know what I mean?
All inclusive club, right?
Straight up, like a buyer's club or a smokers club.
There it is.
You know what I
There
mean?
it is. There it is.
So you got different strands that you're working on.
Oh yeah, well, so we don't work on them. We just grow them. Like we get like we're like you know what I'm saying, like DJ Clue, you know what I'm saying, DJ them up, or like Khaled, right? He doesn't like necessarily make the beats, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He just has the best exclusive that nobody else can get,
Variety of
features and
tracks.
shit.
Exactly.
So to like make your own strains, you gotta have like a whole separate lab and all that shit. You can't let any of that shit. It'll cross pollinate and fuck up your whole grow, you know.
Right.
So we're just running shit right now that's like other people can't get, and doing it like better than most people can.
Right. Right.
But it's called Lifted.
Definitely. Has there been any like rappers or anything like that in contact with you? Like everybody see Soulja Boy just got his new strand out.
Yeah. A couple people have been hitting us up. Like Calvin Johnson from the Lions was talking about it, but I think he went with actually one of my other dudes who's doing like a way bigger thing because we're not making strains. But I'm getting ready to do a couple songs with October London, the R&B singer who just signed a Snoop shit. He just signed a Def Jam as well. And his single Fire is coming out in like 2 weeks, and he's doing a bunch of product placement with our jars and all that shit. But we won't be officially open as a micro dispensary until like we'll be up and running like the first of the year, but we won't be open until like March for like public consummation and shit.
Okay, March 2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so
It is.
how much marijuana can an individual get, like a patient? How much can that patient get? Like,
So in Michigan, just being 21, you can have, I believe, 2.5 ounces on you, and you can have 10 ounces at your crib. Just being 21, you don't need a card for any of that shit. As a caregiver, I can at any times have what's called a Michigan pound. It's like 15.5 ounces on me, and I can have up to 2.5 at the crib. It's like the laws are kind of gray area. Like they're changing them constantly. You know what I mean? But that's like as of right now, anybody over 21. And then if you have a card, it goes up a little bit more. In your card, you get like. It's not like Chicago. In Michigan, to get a medical marijuana card, you just have to say you're in pain. You know, you're like, I fucking hurt, and I smoke weed about it, and they're like with you. You know what I mean? It's not like Chicago. I think you actually have to have like a, cancer or something.
Bring the paperwork and everything.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Michigan's like, no, we believe you.
Right,
We believe
exactly.
you.
I get it.
Now, how's that tax in Michigan now? Now the tax in Illinois is now.
In Michigan, as far as a caregiver, you don't get taxed. It's about like it's really you're only growing the weed for your patients and for yourself or whatever. So you don't get taxed on that at all. But you're also not supposed to charge your patients an arm and a leg. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be.
But like the regular consumers come in, do they get taxed?
So
like Illinois, they get taxed.
It's a 10% tax. It's not near. I think Illinois might be somewhere like 30%. But it's also about like your individual town or township or county. They can be like. You can have like just a 10% tax from the state, but they can be like, no, fuck that, 40% tax, whatever. Ours, luckily, is cool as fuck, man. I'm in Berrien County, in Buchanan, and it's like my little town that like I split my time between Chicago and Michigan. And there's only like 2,000 people, and we'll be the 7th dispensary. So it's like it's the Mecca right now. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's right over the border, like 10 minutes above South Bend.
Okay.
You know, you could take the South Shore, just fall asleep on it, and they wake you up, and then you just go like 5 miles north, and then you can be in my shit.
Right there.
That's perfect.
For real though.
That's perfect. So I come get some of that good.
Yeah, man. Whenever it's like 100% across the board legal. Like I don't even think you have to have an ID. Like fucking, it's just anybody over 21.
Oh, wow. What about the gummies?
Everything. Like I said, at my dispensary, we won't necessarily be doing those right away because to like. An actual dispensary, right? They're not growing shit. They're buying it and selling it, and they don't really produce anything. We have to, as a micro dispensary, we have 150 plants, and we have to grow and sell everything out of our building. So, like, if we run out of shit, we can't buy more shit, and if we, can't sell it, we can't, sell it to anybody else. But, like, that won't be a problem. But we will be making gummies, and we'll be making, like, rosins and shit, but we can't do any extracts that involve a gas because you have to have a bomb-proof building, which is, like, we have the insurance and everything, but the building itself is, like, millions of dollars. And, like, it just doesn't make sense.
So you got a lot of investors with you, like.
No, man, it's all us, man. Like, it's my dude Pooney, and so, like, 2 years ago, we did hemp, man. We did 50 acres of hemp by ourselves with 5 people, like a job that should have taken, like, we'd never farmed before. We're not fucking farmers, but we thought we were hopping in on something new, and we did like 50 acres of hemp, man, which is, produces an insane amount of CBD and shit.
Right.
We're finally about to get our money back from that. But no, it's my dude Pooney and his family, and they all put it up themselves. We were gonna do investors, but when COVID hit and everything, he just decided to do it himself, and I'm lucky enough to be able to get in on a small part of it. But like I said, he's been he's my big brother. I've been like his right hand man. He taught me how to do all this shit, so I'm just happy to be along for the ride.
Man, look, everybody, shout out to Pooney, man.
Yeah, shout out to Pooney.
Shout out to Dan Pooney, man. He been in from the beginning.
You better than me. I don't know if I can trust somebody by the name Pooney.
So
that right there.
His name's Mike Wapple, man. Like we worked in this car wash when I was a kid, man, in LaPorte, Indiana. Like I moved to Gary when I was young, and then my parents moved to LaPorte, and I just kind of bounced around, man, like Northwest Michigan City, Gary, Hammond, LaPorte, and I was sleeping on his couch at the time. We all worked at this car wash where like. really we just got to hire whoever we wanted, all our people and shit. We all just sold weed out of there and sold drugs out of there. And fucking, we just had hours a day, you know. And it started. My dude would just be like, his name was Mike Wapple, and they'd be like, Wapootie, and then like Pootie just stuck, man. And then like that ended up.
Old Pootie Tank.
Yeah, man. We used to throw this big ass festival that started for his birthday, but it ended up being like a giant fucking festival in Northwest Indiana, man, in Michigan City.
Oh, wow.
And like,
Okay.
it ended up being like having like
That's
10,000
what's up.
people one year. We had fucking Deltron there. We had Gift to Gab the last year, man. Fucking like rest in peace to Gift to Gab, man.
That's-
Like
okay,
shout out, like that's
definitely.
my dude. But
Definitely. And I gotta ask you though, like, what role do you want to play in the cannabis industry? Now, it's now booming now. So
I
what
just
role do you
wanna-
want to play?
I want to help people, man, like fucking, you know what I mean? Especially people, black and brown people who've been convicted of bullshit like I was as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can get all that shit overturned now, and beyond that, you can become a fucking entrepreneur. Like, the shit we used to get arrested for, the shit that, you know what I mean? Like, everybody told me I was fucking up my life for,
Right.
ended up being a good thing, man, and I'm able to help people with it, and I want to help other people like me who have been in similar situations like me.
There you go, brother.
You know what I'm
I know-
saying?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the real
yeah.
shit,
Give it up,
man.
brother, for you.
That's the
That's
real
for you,
shit.
brother.
Fuck all these big companies coming in, you know, swooping in with all this money, man. I'm
Man.
trying to help other people like me fucking get their shit expunged and be able to make something of their life positive and help people. Like, on the realest shit, that's what weed is for, man. Like, that's what that shit should do, is help people, like, ease pain, you know, get high, have a good time, you know what I mean? That's what it's for. But also, like, I was able to fucking, you know, I'm a multiple convicted fella, like, you know, I mean, been through all that shit. And I was able to get a bunch of that shit turned around just by moving to Michigan and fucking, like, still doing the same shit I've been doing my whole life, but now it's looked at in a different light, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what's up.
That's what's
That's
up,
what I
man.
like the
That's what's
passion,
up.
man. You really feel that, don't you?
No, man, it's real. It's real. You know, like I said,
up.
but before the interview when we was talking and shit, you know what I mean? Like I grow weed for a living, and I make music because I love it, and I hope to fucking switch those. You know what I mean? Like very short,
Right,
like make
exactly.
my money music. You know, make my music off money, make my money off music. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And fucking and grow weed because I love it. You know.
Yeah.
The weed hit me a little bit. There.
Hey. They go together, though. So they go together. They ain't
For
never
real.
breaking up. They ain't never
Strong
breaking
as a
up.
strong right there. All right, now.
Which one is your favorite?
Oh man, music. I mean, like you know, weed is wonderful.
are you
I
sure?
love it, but like, yeah, I'm sure, man. Like the best music makes you high as fuck. You know.
There it is.
It hits me hard, you know. When it does, like, it's like being, you know, in an opium dream or some shit when it's that good, you know.
Let me ask you, like, now, are you was talking about like your reggae song, you know, the Natural Man. So,
Yeah.
are you like a reggae fan like that? Was you a reggae
Oh
fan
yeah,
before?
man.
Bob
Huge,
Marley,
man.
all that.
Bob Marley, man.
Rasta.
Like when Nas and Damian Marley, when that shit came out, man, I must have seen them on tour like 20 times. Like inadvertently, I'd be playing a festival and they'd be there, or I'd be at a festival or some shit and they'd be there. But yeah, like, man, Damian Marley's my shit. But yeah, I love Bob Marley, man. Like right now, I was gonna put out my record Scatterbrain on my birthday last week, but I'm waiting on I potentially have a distribution deal with 6 Degrees Records, who's a subsidiary of Island Records, which is, you know, Island Def Jam, but that's also who
Right,
originally
right.
signed Bob Marley.
That's great. Then listen out, everybody. About the distribution deal, you heard it again.
Hoping, man.
Cause we had Fetty on here, Mac 11,
yeah.
everything. Distribution is the way to go.
Yeah, no, you know, that's the reason that
pushing.
Master P is still worth like $500 million to this day, is because he just
Yes.
had the distribution
Distribution
deal
deal.
priority. He
Oh,
kept
yeah.
all his fucking money. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
That's the realest shit.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
goal right there.
That's
Keep
the-
your
They all
shit.
should have
We
learned
just
from
had
him.
multiple
Real.
people say that.
Own your fucking masters. Get your distribution for real.
It's yours any damn way.
Hey, if you don't get it nowhere else, you get on the Hourglass podcast.
That's
They
right,
tell you
man.
the real.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
right.
The time
Telling
is
you
now.
the
You see,
real.
we got the
Nah.
real here. You see, we
Right.
got the motherfucking real here now.
The real.
The time is now.
Ideal.
Yeah.
You know.
Deal,
Ideal.
baby.
I appreciate
Ideal.
it, man.
And definitely, I seen on your page you got a couple of dogs though, man. So you got a couple of pits of them, man.
I just got one, man. I'm trying to breed him, man. My dog Smokey Robinson, man. He's the best fucking dog. I swear, he's the
That's
best
cool.
dog I ever had in my
he
life,
blow
man.
like him. He sing like him.
Nah,
Now he
he
holler.
actually
The hell
he
you
don't smoke,
breed?
man. Smoke don't smoke for real though. But no, I'm trying to breed him, man. He's the best dog I've ever had in my life. I just got his pedigree back. It's like a giant fucking poster. But it just with COVID, people wasn't wanting to do that. And then like the next level up from just like trying to breed him to like fucking, you know, I'm just like, I'm not trying to be like a fucking dog breeder. I'm not on like my big boy shit. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to like
trying
take
to
up a portion of my life.
trying-
But I want to get
trying
my
to
dude
breed
laid
him-
and get a puppy and shit. You know?
Exactly.
You trying to breed him to sing hits.
You know what I mean?
Smokey Robinson.
Big boy out here breeding owls and shit. You know, I'm not trying to do all this.
Smokey.
Yeah, dog got a first and last name.
Shout out Smoke Dog.
Smoke dog. Shout out Smoke dog.
First and last name. Dog got a first and last name. Smokey
That's what's
Robinson.
up.
Smokey, man.
So what kind of pit is it?
Oh, he's a blue pit, man. American Pit Bull Terrier. Straight blue pit. He's got like a two-face mask. He's like white and blue, and he's the best dog ever. He's got a little brindle in him, but He's great, man. He's honestly like fucking spoiled right now. I'm gonna take him with me everywhere I go. I would have taken him up here, but it was just hot as fuck, you know what I mean? But normally he be just like, I take him to the beach and he just gets, you know what I mean? Just like everybody's like, he's so handsome.
Yeah, you're right.
There you go.
So how much time do you spend as far as the dispensary? Like, how much time do you have to put in that? Because I know the laws and everything like that, it's kind of like you got to be on it.
Well, that shit right now is just, man, we've been waiting for, we've had the building and everything booked and ready to build. Right now we're waiting on like power and plumbing, and that shit takes forever, man. AEP and shit, that shit takes forever. But when it's actually running, you know, it's like, it's a full-time thing, man. And even right now, just as a caregiver, you know, it's like it's a professional fucking thing, but it's like I run it all myself. So it's like I'm about to go back after this shit. I'm gonna wild out in the club for a little bit, but I'm gonna go back after this shit. And I'm harvesting right now. You know, it's like it's literally nonstop, man. If I'm not making music, I'm fucking growing weed, and vice versa, straight up.
There it is.
Very, very little sleep, man. I usually sleep on like Tuesdays.
You sound like us here.
Exactly.
You sound like us.
For real, though.
Exactly. Don't get time for nothing.
Yeah, I was thinking about coming up there to help you, but you ain't getting no sleep either. I can't get no sleep here. And not get
I mean,
no
I
sleep.
have a guest bedroom, but you know what I mean. Like nobody ever sleeps in that motherfucker. When my band's around, we ain't sleeping at all. You know, and like for me, it's like
Y'all partying.
yeah, man. Like it's nonstop, man. I'll sleep when I'm dead. You know.
Wow.
I ain't got time for that shit right now.
YOLO. There you go.
There it is.
There it is.
So we gotta ask you though, now what's next for you?
Oh man, really just Scatterbrain releasing this record as soon as I find out about this distribution deal, and if not, I'm putting it out myself. Like it's already fucking copywritten through the Library of Congress and all that shit. But I also got an album called Night Glow coming out with my band Midwest Type, and we're both looking at signing distribution deals and signing with Hip Joint Creative. Okay. And I'll be on tour as fuck, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like with the band, by myself, back and forth nonstop. Like some bands don't like, you know, some bands make music and don't tour, vice versa. Like me as a solo artist and the band, we like believe in like making music and then fucking playing that shit live for people.
Local tours coming up. Local tours coming up.
Local, maybe national. You know, it depends. Like with COVID, everything's just, you know, it hasn't been my focus because like we just been getting back to shit. During COVID, me and Midwest Type filmed the whole fucking hour-long video at Shuba's in Chicago. That was like a complete live show like we would normally play it, and then we had my dude AJ do like the crowd is all like mannequins and skeletons and Michael Jordan cutouts and shit. We made them all move and shit. Like y'all check it out, man. It's called Midwest Type Alive at Shuba's.
Okay.
But yeah,
check that out.
as soon as we get back to, you know what I mean, like we want to tour hard, man. We were about to tour with Sublime and Dirty Heads real hard right before COVID. So like that's our goal, man. Like if you make fucking rock and roll, you need to play that shit for people, man. You know, if you make hip hop, you need to play it for people. It's cool to be on SoundCloud or whatever, but like you need to contact people. You need to, you know what I mean? I need to dive in mosh pits for real. That's the real shit.
That's what's up.
Surfing
right, exactly.
For real.
Surfing, nigga. I ski.
For real though.
You definitely sound like you're real in tune with everything.
Yeah, man, I try to be, man. You know, I'm real happy to be able to do what I do. I'm real happy to be able to make money off of growing weed legally, and I'm real happy to be able to play music with my friends still and play it for people who love it, you know? So, like,
that's what's up.
Hopefully I can continue to do those things for a long time.
Yeah. And you said
that sound good though.
That's what you did.
Man.
That's what you did all your life. So now
it's
kind of reaping the benefits.
It's
like I can still do this, and
I got the tide of history turn. You know, if it wasn't for that, I'd still just be a criminal, fucking rapping my ass off. You know what I mean? So like the tide of history has turned with me. So I feel real lucky and blessed. So I'm trying to, you know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Raise that boat for all my people.
That's what's up. That's what's up. The illest, the dopest.
Man, here it is.
You know what I'm saying? You have to use words like that, like dope. Yeah, that's why you know it's real.
That's real, man. I appreciate it, bro.
That's what it is.
Okay, definitely.
Oh man,
now definitely you got to give tell them about your IG and stuff like where they can find you and everything.
Yeah, man. You can hit me at Ideal MWH, Ideal MWH, like Midwest Type. Also at Midwest Type, across everything, across the board, all shit.
It definitely be in the description.
It will be in the description below.
Yes, sir.
That is. Now, before we go, give us a little something.
Okay. It's your man Ideal, you know him well. The draw I usually sell, so sit back and blow a L. Yo, I'm about to show and tell. In no house or home I dwell, I've been known as a troubadour. Take my soul out on the road, I bring the show to you and yours. Fresh as a humidor, rare as a unicorn. Rappers as actors, they're just wearing the uniform. And what I lack in years, I'm making up for with experience. Not yet in my prime, no, barely even near it. It's just biding my time slow, trying to experiment. And I'm gonna keep climbing until I'm riding on that chariot. Yeah.
There we go, baby. Ideal, baby.
There it is.
There it is right there.
There it is.
That's what's
sir.
up.
Hot.
Hourglass,
dope,
man. Shout to y'all. I appreciate y'all
Hourglass,
rocking with me, man, for real.
That's what's up.
And do one thing for us, right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Say your name first, Ideal, then say you rock with the number one podcast in Chicago, the Hourglass Podcast. The time is now.
Yo, the time is now, man. This is Ideal. Peace. I'm rocking with the Hourglass Podcast, the number one podcast in Chicago. Appreciate y'all having me, man, for real.
He said it here now.
There it is,
The
baby.
Here you go, right there.
Much love,
The
man. Much love.
time
is now.
That's right, baby.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we.
Happy
and we
birthday,
up out
happy
of-
birthday to Radio.
Oh, yeah, happy
my
birthday,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
Now I can
Happy
go party
birthday to
now.
Ideal.
I
Ideal.
think
You know
I
what I'm
did my
saying?
job.
The Kansas in the
Time
house.
me
We
to
got
go
the Kansas
party.
in the house, baby.
June 22nd.
That's right.
June
Yeah.
22nd, right there. We all
Bang,
Kansas. All Kansas. There
Yes,
we go.
you do got some good
Appreciate
ones.
y'all, fellas. for real,
Let's
man.
get it.
Much love,
Thank
bro.
you, brother. Thank you, brother.
So you gotta come
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
You gotta come back and bring your
We
girl
going
this
to him.
time.
Nah,
you
my
know.
we
girl's
going to
coming
the-
for sure,
Yeah,
man.
you
We coming to
Bring
the
your girl this
farm.
time.
We coming to the farm next time.
Yeah,
We'll do it at
no.
the farm.
No, man, we finna do next year. I think in the summer, man, we gonna do another iteration of that festival I was telling y'all about. It's gonna be Buchanan. We're trying to get like Snoop up in that bitch. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta let us in. though.
Outdoor
You gotta-
weed festival, man.
Oh yeah, you gotta
let us
invite-
in,
you gotta
though.
invite
No,
us.
no,
You gotta
for sure.
invite us.
I got y'all, man. I hear y'all
Invite us.
knocking. I'm gonna let you in.
Definitely.
Let us in.
And we got our shout outs over here too. GTB Medical Services, Medical Courier Services, Medical Equipment Repair. Check us out. It will be in the description right there.
Yeah.
Cannabis Barbershop, 103rd and Carpenter, Chicago. Get there.
Yeah. We got the London Jamore drip for you. You know what I'm saying? Coming soon. We putting together a package, so just look out for it. You know, and last but not least,
You got it right here. You got
Yes,
the
sir.
mystery coming out
Oh,
here
yeah.
right now, man. The name over right there. There we go. Ideal.
Yeah, man. I got Scatterbrain coming out. I got Nightglow coming out, man. I appreciate y'all having me. Hourglass, yo. The time is motherfucking now.
There you go. The time is now. You heard it. I'm B-Lo, your host. Rated R, the birthday
building.
man. The birthday man.
I go
Rated
party
R.
now, right? I
Here
go
we
party
got-
now.
you know
go
it.
party
Give it up for Rated R.
Yes,
you know?
sir.
And I'm Dub Boo in the house, man, and we out.
Boo in the house.
The time
Who got the first shot?
is now.
Who got the first shot?